So, as you can see, we have a very large engine to cover up. Kind of the game plan here is to cut out more of the firewall actually and kind of make it more of a squared off look. That way it just makes it easier to patch it up using sheet metal. So, and on top of that, we decided, hey, no one's ever said, man, I just have way too much room to work on this engine. So we're gonna kind of trim up a little up higher and wrap around the turbo so you have plenty of room. That way you have kind of at least a little bit of room to work on things if we ever need to. And then here we're gonna kind of use the old little doghouse and see how much we can use of that, and then we'll transition into the new sheet metal for the rest of the doghouse. Well guys, not bad for an afternoon's work. While I was working on cutting all that out, as you can see, we got the doghouse outline cut out to how it's going to be. And then I trimmed up that smaller doghouse, whatever you call it, transmission tunnel. Just kind of outline, just to make it fit with where the engine is and the shifter are. We're probably going to be doing more cutting. Like here, this is probably going to be cut straight to here, but it's just kind of a mock of how it's going to be. And then while I was doing that, Ryan was working on getting rid of this seat bench bracket, whatever you call it, and then we're going to be doing captain's chairs here instead, and then some kind of center console in the middle. So all sorts of room for activities now. You could sleep in there.
Yeah, real roomy. I might sleep in here tonight.
Yeah, might as well. So, guess we'll keep on trucking. I think we're done for today. Go hang out with the fam. But we will get to it another day. Well guys, got this side all tacked up and pretty happy with how it came out. You're gonna have plenty of foot room. So as you can see, just did 3 pieces. And still need to tack the top here, but it's pretty sturdy. It's amazing how much more sturdy the floor is now. So the easy side is done. The driver's side, not gonna be as easy. Got to go around all the pedals, and it's just gonna be a lot more pieces than just these 3. So that'll be a fun one to do, but just one piece at a time. Well guys, we got her all tacked up. I'd say she came out pretty good. We have a doghouse. Obviously need to do some welding to close up all the seams, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Really just start adding pieces and welding them in. So now we haven't driven this with a turbo yet. So now that we have the doghouse done, I would like to take it for another test drive, but I want to do it with the turbo hooked up. Whenever we've driven it, we've just had it hooked up like this. So now that we have the piping and everything, connect this over to the intake manifold and we can actually use that. So I'm going to do that and then we can take it for a spin. Well, would you look at that? The front end is on the truck. And it looks pretty good. with the stacks and everything. And then if you look under here, we got some charge pipes built. Oh, come on. There we go. And this is pretty temporary. This is just to get the turbo hooked up with everything. So that's why I just use full pieces. Then use some elbows and some this and just stuff here, there, and yeah. And you might be thinking to yourself, man, that is probably the worst charge pipe I've ever seen in my life. And do not have to say about that? You're correct. But this is just temporary because when we get done, we're planning on running an intercooler and everything. And I didn't want to cut up all these pieces and use them up for just a temporary setup. That way, when we do have the pipes going to the intercooler, I'll have all the pieces to cut and weld and it'll look good. So for now, this will work. This will get the air from the spoolie boy into the sucker. So we can actually drive this thing with the turbo and the fenders and hood on. So that is pretty exciting. But of course it's dark outside, so we'll have to wait till daytime so we can get some good footage of it. But we will do that. For us it'll be a sleep. For you it'll be a second. Well guys, we got the truck put together and it's looking pretty good. Front end's been off for so long you almost forget what it looks like. And now seeing the front end with the stacks and everything, with how low it is, this truck has such a good look to it. There's still need to put the steps on and the bumper. That'll make it look even lower just because the bumper is going to be probably 3 or 4 inches off the ground probably. But yeah, we are very, very happy with how it turned out. Feels good. All the work was worth it. Still have a lot of work left, but we're to a point to where we can drive it again, so I think we're going to go take it for a little test drive. See, I got the doghouse in. It's definitely a lot quieter. Still loud, but it's quieter than it was. We have the seats from the, what year Chevy are these out of? 04. So 04 Chevy seats that we picked up, and they're actually pretty good. Hey buddy. Well guys, we made it on the first little test drive. Went a little down the road to a family member's house, and she did pretty good overall. She doesn't like bumps very much, so we're kind of expecting that. But overall, not bad. But she's not leaking anything. Looks like we might have some power steering fluid down there, but we were already expecting that since this line's leaking pretty bad. So we'll have to fix that, but other than that, not bad for a first test drive.
Perfect.
We're gonna try and get some roller shots for you guys here. That truck sounds so good, and it looks so good. I like it a lot. Well guys, we made it back. Truck did really well actually. It looks so good going down the road. Like the stance of this truck turned out like exactly how I envisioned it. Obviously we're not on bags or anything, so it's not slammed, but I think it's just lowered perfectly where it just has this short stout look, and I love that about the truck. And then the stacks coming up, it just, when it's coming towards you, coming down the road, you're just like, holy cow, like what is that? And I can't wait to drive this into town just so like we can turn next. Like people are gonna be looking at this truck, and that's exciting. So yeah, another good test drive down. It's leaking a little bit of water, which isn't surprising. We kind of have a ghetto radiator setup, or radiator hose setup right now, and then that power steering line is leaking. But other than that, it did pretty good. Like it's definitely a little rougher ride, which we were expecting, but I don't know, we can slowly fix things over time, and overall I'm happy with where it's at. It's just cool knowing that we've built this from the ground up and with completely custom everything, and it runs and drives like a vehicle. So for us, like being the first vehicle we've done that with, it's a cool accomplishment. So this is where I'm going to end this one though, and I'm excited. We're going to keep moving forward with it though. So if you want to keep up with the build, there's going to be more videos coming, so subscribe so that you can see them come and you can watch it, because that's important too. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.